Now, so far, we've been using EJS to create templates that lets us create lots of pages that are very similar to each other. For example, lists with different titles. So every time that we open up our list on a different day, we get a different title up here. Now, we can change this also so that, say if I were to go to our website, say www.checklist, and then I go to /work, then I can make it such that we get a list that has a title that says work, right? And we can do this really easily using our templates. So let's first go into our list and change this placeholder from kind of day to list title, just so that it makes a little bit more sense when we're giving it a title such as work or home or something like that. And of course, if we change it there, we have to change it over here. So it's called list title. Make sure that there's no typos. And we're passing in the current date when the user tries to access our lists in the home route. Now let's add another route. Let's say app.get, and we're targeting the work route, just so that we can provide a work to-do list. So let's create our callback function. And inside our callback function, we're going to res.render our list.ejs page. And then we're going to pass in a list title that is just going to be equal to work list. And then, of course, we have to pass in the second parameter as well, which is called new list items. And for our work list, we'll need a separate data store. So let's call it work items. And it's just going to start off being empty. So let's pass that along, this work items array, and let's add our semicolons. And then let's add our app.post route, targets our work route. And inside here, we're going to create a item that is going to capture the request.body.new item. Then we're going to say work items dot push. We're going to push this new item that the user added, and then we're going to say res.redirect to our work route so that we go over to here. So let's hit save and let's give this a go. So we're going to head over to localhost 3000 /work to access the work route, and you can see that we've successfully managed to change the title to work list. And we've got a brand new list that is currently completely empty. But there is a slight problem. And this will occur when I add a new item. So let's say write essay to add to our work list. Now, when I press this submit button, that write essay somehow gets added to our home list that's based off the date. And the reason is because when I press that submit button, my form makes a post request to the home route. So that then enters over here in the post route, and we add our item, in fact, to our items array, and we redirect to the home route, and we render this page instead. So no matter, we can change this quite easily by getting some information back from our post request. So at the moment, inside this post request, if you insert a console log, which logs our request.body, and we go ahead and go back over to our work list, and we try to add a new item, and I press the submit button. Now, if we take a look at the console, you can see that what we've logged is a key called new item that has the value of the item that we just added. But there's also this key called button, and that relates to the name that we gave our submit button. It has a name of button. Now, we can also give it a value. And if I give it a value, let's just call it a value. If I go through this process again of adding a new item, you can see that what gets printed in our console is there is a key called button, and it has a value of a value, which is what we added in here. So what we can do then is we can change the name of our submit button to list, and we can change the value to something dynamic using EJS. So we can say the value is equal to something dynamic that we're going to insert here, and we can change this to the list title. That's the thing that we're getting from the server that we're going to put at the top of our list as the title. So now when I hit save and we try this again, we go over to /work, we add a new item, then you can see that we can tap into something that's called list, and we can get its value to figure out whether if our new item was added in the work list or whether if it was added in our default list. So now going back to our server, we can, instead of console logging what we're getting from the request.body, we can create an if statement. So we can say if request.body.list. So remember, that's the key over here so that we can tap into this value. If this is equal to the word work, then in that case, instead of pushing our items into the array items, we're going to push it into our new array, which is called work items. So let's first place this above our if statement. So we grab the item from the post request, and if that request came from our work list, then we're going to say work items dot push, and we're going to push the item to that list instead. Now else, i.e. if it wasn't from the work list, then we're going to push it to our normal items array, and we're going to res.redirect to our home route. But if it was in fact from the work list, then we're going to res.redirect to our work route. So now in our app.post method, we've got some logic in here that checks to see if the list that the new item came from was from the work list. And if it was, then we're going to add that data item to the work items array, and we're going to redirect to over here for the work route, where we're going to render our list, that is the work list from the work items. So now if we hit save and we head over to the work list and we add a new item, say write essay, now it gets added to our work list, and we have two separate lists now that operate independently from each other because we were able to implement some logic on our server that separates out the data. Now, this is all very well and good, and it allows us to reuse our list.ejs template for as many different lists as we want to create. But the problem arises when we want to create pages that look dramatically different from this, when we don't really want a list and we don't want checkboxes and we don't want submit buttons. Say if for our website we wanted to add a about page or a contact me page. Well, that's not going to have the same content, right? It's not going to have checkboxes or submit buttons, but I still want it to have the same style. So I don't want to rewrite all of these parts and create separate pages. Well, one way of doing this is we could create a new file called about.html, and then we go ahead and copy some of these parts, for example, the boilerplate and the CSS style sheet links, and we copy the footer, and we add some custom content. And now we have an about page. But what if we had more things that were repeated? So for example, what if we had a footer that we wanted on every single page? And this footer was going to have some copyright text, for example. So let's say copyright 2018, the app brewery. Let's hit save, and now you can see we've got that rendered down here, but we want it over here as well, so we have to go ahead and copy it and paste it over, and we might forget it for some pages. So this is not a great way of implementing it. So in fact, I'm going to delete our about.html page that we just created, and I'm going to show you a better way of doing this. So EJS allows to create something called layouts or partials. And you can see that if you scroll down to the layouts section. So it says that layouts can be implemented by including headers and footers, like so. So we're basically saying, here is the body of our content of the page, and the top and the bottom part are going to stay consistent across our website. Now, this is very, very common behavior because in most sites, you have a standardized look and feel. You have the same sort of styles applied everywhere, the same background colors, etc. So let's see how we can implement these layouts. Now, let's go into our views folder and we're going to create a new file called header.ejs and also one called footer.ejs. Now, these two files are going to be added to all the new files that we create. So instead of having all of this part, which is going to be repeated across all of our websites, I'm simply going to cut it and paste it into header.ejs, and then I'm going to cut all of this and I'm going to paste it into footer.ejs. So now I have a header and footer that I'm going to apply across all of my web pages, and I can do that exactly as they've specified over here. So let's go ahead and add that code at the top here. So the keyword is include, and then we have some parentheses to tell it what to include. And in our case, the file is called header. So all we need to do is put the word header in between some quotation marks. And then we close this off with a hyphen, percentage sign, and a closing angle bracket. And we can do the same thing down here for our footer. And instead just change the file to the footer.ejs. So now if you refresh the to-do list, you can see that absolutely nothing has changed. But if I go ahead and create a new view, and let's call this about.ejs, and I'm simply going to have an H2 in here that says this is the about page, and then I'm going to have a paragraph with lots and lots of text. And let's create a get route, app.get / targeting the about route. And then we have our callback function. And here we're going res.render our about page. And this about page takes no parameters. So that's all we need to add. And now if I hit save and I head over to the about page, then you can see that this is completely unstyled. And this is what my page would look like if I didn't add any of those layouts. So now it's time to add those layouts. And you've seen how we did it inside list.ejs. So I want you to pause the video and add the header and footer to the about.ejs page as well. All right, so this is pretty simple. We're just going to use the tag that is open angle bracket, percentage sign, hyphen, and then we're going to say include, and then we're going to tell it what to include, which is the file called header. And then we're going to close off this tag and we're going to do the same thing down here for our footer. So now when we refresh our page, bam, it's got the same styling that we're used to from our previous pages, and we didn't have to repeat very much code at all. And so now every time we create a new page, even if it looks dramatically different from our to-do list, we can use our header and footer layouts to style up our website and include our JavaScript or our jQuery or our assets or anything like that. And this makes it super easy to create a large website with many different pages.